Right, welcome back to another Q&A video. My name's David Winter, and today we're actually going to go through the most frequently asked questions to business owners that I found online. We're going to jump straight into this one, and the first question is, why did you start your business? Now, many people have loads of different reasons for starting their business. At the time that I started mine, I had actually just been made redundant, but I was kind of in the headspace of wanting to look at least, not actually doing it, but look at setting up my own business. The main reason is that I actually wanted a bit more time and freedom and flexibility, mostly actually to play my drums and be able to take on the gigs and shows and stuff that I was being offered at the time, but not able to do because of work. Fast forward a few years, the work-life balance and the kind of dream lifestyle that I thought I would have, I haven't actually managed to get yet, and I know that's going to be one of the questions later on as well. But literally the main reason that back in the day, the main reason that I set my business up was to literally be able to play my drums more. The harsh reality I've learned is that I've probably played my drums less in the past 6 years combined than I did before I set the business up. So that's been a slightly harsh reality, or a lack of skill to manage my own time on my part. But that was one of the main reasons, and that's one of the main reasons everybody sets up their own business, is to follow more of their hobbies, interests, passions, maybe build a business around their passion, and that was certainly my plan. Second question is, what is the hardest thing, the most difficult thing about running your business? Now, for me, there's actually so many things that make running a business difficult. There's also so many things that make it worthwhile, but the challenges that can come up on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and feel like they constantly challenge you and wear you down is probably the hardest thing. It's just the multitude of problems that hit you also when you're not expecting it. Things like HMRC, tax bills, a mistake on their end, which has just been an absolute nightmare for us to deal with. Technical problems, which forever and always will just be an absolute nightmare to deal with. And then clients as well. We obviously run a service, agency-based business, a video agency. Clients can also be really, really difficult as well, whether they're cutting projects, cancelling projects, making it difficult to get a project over the line, loads of challenges. And the hardest thing is not one particular challenge, but just the fact that millions of challenges, it feels, every day will hit you as a business owner. Question number 3, how do you manage work-life balance? Now, I don't, quite simply. I really, really struggle. A lot of the brands or kind of YouTube channels and things that we've set up as a business was all created around my interests, my hobbies. The drum channel, affinity racing, so motorsports, sim racing, all of the stuff that I could just enjoy in my spare time or my life, I've then transitioned that over to work. So my life is just work balance rather than work life. And even absolute example tonight, Layla is off work, a rare night that she's actually off work, and was like, oh, can I see you tonight? I was like, oh, well, I'm actually watching the Formula One reveals of all the new Formula One liveries for 2025. I'll be watching that. She was like, well, can you not sort of record that, or can you not watch it after? I was like, I could do, but I'm actually live streaming a watch along for Affinity Racing. So it can be pretty tricky. It is always on as a business owner. I actually saw a really great post on LinkedIn the other day. I wish I could find it, but now I can't. Of a guy that was literally just explaining the difficulty and the impossibility of switching off as a business owner. 24/7, your mind never ever switches off. So I think that I've done the right thing by creating businesses or building businesses, brands, YouTube channels, everything in things that I think about all the time anyways. So I like to think that I've done myself a favor there. In the future, I kind of want to make sure I have more holidays, more days off, weekends as well if I can. Try and take them off just to actually sustain what it is that we're doing, because the past 6-12 months has probably been the closest I've got to totally burning out and just wanting to throw the towel in completely. Question number 4, how do you plan or manage your workload? So this is something that I really, really struggle with, to be honest. It's probably one of my weakest skill sets, but I feel that's because I've always got so much going on. My to-do list, literally, if I showed you my Asana list now, just looks like an absolute bomb site, and this is a software platform that's meant to keep you organized. It looks horrific. I kind of know where everything is, obviously, but it always feels like I'm never getting enough done. So managing my workload is probably something that I need to work on, and I know that I need to work on it by not underestimating how long things take. So my to-do list on a daily basis will be 30, 40, 50 tasks deep, and I might get through 2 of them, literally, or 5 of them, or 10 of them at best. It never feels like I'm getting enough done, which is why I always end up cramming more into a day than I can possibly end up doing. And I always feel like I'm running behind, even though I'm not. I'm super productive, and I was talking to Jono and Ben about this. Us as an agency are very productive. We're absolutely on it with the video edits. We turn things around really quick. I am like that, just constantly full on, want to get things done. And then I kind of realized actually the rest of the world is very sleepy and very unproductive. So I feel like I am, and then actually in comparison, I really am not. Question number 5, what has been the easiest and hardest thing about growing your business? I think the easiest thing almost feels like it's the most natural thing to do, which is to grow the business, is to constantly work on the business, which isn't always a good thing, but to constantly be switched on, constantly wanting to try and do better and grow and progress and learn more as well as a business and as myself. That's been the easiest thing because it's been the most natural thing to go and do. In terms of the hardest thing about growing the business has probably been the unexpected challenges, or the things that you just think can't possibly go wrong, and then they do. So whenever I find myself with that Richard Hammond voiceover of what could possibly go wrong, or that I guarantee that that thing will go wrong. So perfect example, January just gone, we had £30,000 in outstanding invoices, a lot of them actually overdue invoices. So this particular Friday a few weeks ago, I was convinced everything was going to get paid, and I'd been told by a lot of the clients it was all going to get paid, and rest assured it didn't. But in my head, not that I'd already spent the 30,000, but as a business owner you think, right, the next thing, and then just something holds it up and you don't know what it can be, and that feels like the most frustrating thing. It feels like the world's against you. It's not. That problem, that challenge, that paperwork that you would have to do, whatever it is, was always going to be there. It's just that for you it's unexpected, especially as a new business owner, or you're taking the business in a direction you've not done before, or you're just growing it in general. You're always going to get to a point for the first time. You're always going to do something for the first time, and so all of those challenges will be unexpected, and that is the most difficult part. Question number 6, I found this one an interesting one, is do you plan to retire, and if so, when? And my answer genuinely is probably not. I would like to think that at one point in my life I might be able to switch off, but retirement sounds like absolute hell to me. I love a good holiday, I love time off or doing things that I enjoy, but doing that constantly, that does sound like not much fun. So probably not going to retire. Plus I enjoy doing all these things, hobbies, interests, drums, racing, creating the content, creating videos, this YouTube channel. It's all like fun. So I feel like if I retired, that would hopefully be the stuff that I do anyway. And I see that with business owners and people that I know, people that have retired, and yet they're still ringing me up about ideas, or can we do this, or can we try that? And I'm like, I thought you were finished. Like, oh, just an idea, we might as well give it a go, or whatever it might be. And those are the type of people that I actually respect and probably admire and look up to, is they are retired, they have enough money, these people, to sit on a beach just forever and forever and always and till for the rest of their life, and they don't. They choose to be creative and kind of put that energy into something that they feel is productive, worthwhile, enjoyable, and that's what I would like to see myself doing. So I don't really plan to retire, but I don't know. Give me another year working as a video agency owner and maybe I will. Question number 7, what advice would you give to the younger generation about starting business? So I guess, what would younger generation be from my age, 26, like 16-year-olds, is that the next generation? I guess so. It must be a decade, I don't know. Right, so a 16-year-old kid that's starting a business. I don't really know, to be honest. I genuinely don't know. I think the main lesson, the main thing that I have realized, I talk about all the time, is the unknown challenges, is the fact that it's a lot more difficult than you would ever really imagine. So be prepared to sink easily the next 5, 6, 7 years of your life into that business before you start to see it grow. Now there's a lot, I'm just going to say, bullshit on the internet of you know, I make 100 grand a month or £1 million a day implementing AI, and all I do is just press copy and paste into all this stuff really actually does my head in. And there's a few clients that I had that have gone off and done that thing, and they asked me to do promo videos for them and stuff, and I'm just like, I really can't get behind it, because I know their journey before they got to that point was graft, hard work, constant effort to get to their business to a point where now it does run fairly easy or a little bit easier, but it's never like that from the start. And so I always say we're 6 years in as a video agency, and I only just feel like we're on the right path, and everybody else who's built a business will always say the same thing. So be prepared, I would say, to sink the next 5 years into a business. But in 5 years' time, I guarantee, probably, can I put a disclaimer that says I actually don't guarantee, but I just say I guarantee it will be worthwhile. You will have learned so much in that time. You will have hopefully built a business to a point where it's better than most full-time jobs that you could have gone off and got, and you know, in that time, and it will absolutely be worth it. There's no doubt about that. At the very least, it will give you a good story to tell, or a more interesting story than most people. But yeah, it's just that it is so much harder. Don't believe the hype that you see either on the internet or, you know, even a lot of TV shows or YouTube sort of like documentary type stuff of going in and just turning around a business like that. It really doesn't happen. There's always so much more work behind the scenes than you will ever realize. Question number 8, I really like this one. If someone is thinking about starting a business, but they aren't sure if they should or if they can, or if they have what it takes, what advice would you give them? Now, I love this question for a couple of reasons. The first is that there's a lot of debate, and I love the debate of whether people are born an entrepreneur. I hate that cringe word now, it's very much overused. Are people born an entrepreneur, or is it a skill that you learned? I genuinely believe it's like a mix of both. I do think that environmental and upbringing has a lot to do with it as well. I grew up seeing a lot of people who own their own business being idolized by my parents, and be like, oh, like he's got it good because he's got his own business, and he can do what he wants because he's got his own business. So very early on, I kind of made that link that I guess if I want to be, I don't know, better off or well off, or, you know, have a nice life or whatever, business is the answer. I kind of realized that's not actually the case anymore, but that very much was what pushed me in that direction. So there's a real good mix there of born with it, the environmental kind of upbringing, and then absolute skills learned. And the reason that I like this debate so much is that I believed I was like born that way, and that, you know, starting businesses and the hustle culture and all that sort of stuff, I believe that that was me. And the first 4 years of running my business was just like hard graft, constant graft, 20 hours a day, building the business. And I believe in the early days that was the right thing. The past couple of years for me, I've spent so much time, invested a lot of time, effort, energy, and money into really learning business seminars, not necessarily business mentors and courses, not to that degree, but just really delving into good business content, podcasts, YouTube, channels from people that I admire, look up to, and really learning the lessons. And then the also behind the scenes, understanding management accounts of business profit and loss and all that sort of thing. Really getting a good understanding of marketing. And I thought I had a good understanding. I thought I had the best understanding of marketing, actually. There's something about the more that you learn about something, the more you realize you don't know. And that's been me now. Thinking at one point when I first started that I knew everything, and I pretty much did think that I knew everything, and then 4 years later really delving into it and realizing, Christ, there's this whole world of business that I'm still yet to learn or experience or get better at. So there is an absolute mix of you can just do it and go build a business, and learning the skills. Information in my ear from the crew behind the camera, i.e. Jono's just told me. Dunning-Kruger effect is the name of that cognitive bias that the less you know, the more you sort of overestimate your abilities or knowledge in that subject. That was definitely me at the start. And then the more that I've delved into things, the more I realize there is a whole world of business that I don't know, or that I am yet to learn or experience or get better at. So to sum that up, if someone is thinking about starting a business, but they're not too sure if it is for them or if they can, I would absolutely say there is that mix there of being born an entrepreneur and all that sort of stuff, but majority of my learning and development and better business decisions has came over the past couple of years when I have really invested in myself, time, effort, energy into learning about business. And that would be my advice. If you're thinking about starting a business, learn as much as you can, really delve into it, because I guarantee you this thing will take over your life, this thing called business. It will absolutely run your mind and life from the moment that you begin. So you might as well get good at it as early as you can and really have a good understanding, and understand that you will always be learning. Question number 9, this is the final one. And remember, this was the most frequently asked questions, according to Google at least anyway, or a Reddit forum somewhere, of the most frequently asked questions to business owners. So this one's been quite good fun. Number 9, what would you be doing if you weren't running your business? I would like to think that I would probably have obviously a full-time job somewhere, probably in marketing or hopefully content creation or videography type stuff. But I'd like to think that I would be spending as much time as possible in my hobbies and interests, which actually when I had a full-time job and before I started running my business, that's what I was doing. I was genuinely really happy in that job. It was a marketing role in the auto trade. And then on the evenings, I would literally 7 nights of the week, I would either be sort of doing the gym or football or band practice, playing gigs with the band. Literally every night of the week, I would be doing something that I really, really enjoyed. And so I did genuinely love that time with that job and a real good, I felt, work-life balance at the time. Redundancy came, decisions came, whatever, all the challenges that come with it. I decided to set up my own business with the intention of keeping that work-life balance. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, that doesn't always play out every day of the week or every sort of week of the month or month of the year. But overall, absolutely happy with where things are at. But yeah, if I didn't have the business, I'd like to think I had a full-time job that I really enjoyed, and every night of the week I was either playing drums or sim racing or doing whatever I'd be doing and just enjoying life. The truth of the matter is though that I'm not. I'm running a business. I'm doing my absolute very best to keep on top of that, grow the business, push the business, and also enjoy everything that I want to. And that's actually also a really big challenge. To go back to one of the earlier questions about the biggest challenge, not always having that balance is actually really difficult, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We're 6 years in now, I'm committed to the cause, I'm running a business for the next 60 years, and so follow me on this journey, on this channel, to see how we manage to do that. So with that, if you've enjoyed this video or any other videos on the channel and you found them helpful, please do hit the subscribe button. We got so many more videos to come after this. We got so many more videos that we've done before this, so please do check them all out. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when new videos go up. We got loads more Q&As behind the scenes, as well as all sorts of other business content. I don't know, I'm out of ideas now. It's very cold in this studio and I need to get outside. Right, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.